Hi everyone. So I'm so pleased to hear so many of you were looking forward to me coming back tonight, and it's just John and I. So if you're wondering where Maria is, Maria was supposed to be here tonight, but you know that famous airline that keeps changing the flights and everything they're doing? Well, she's travelling home with them. So they moved her flight from this morning till 6:30 tonight. So just me and John and I in the kitchen, and I hope you enjoy our company. What I'm actually going to do tonight is show you how to make a flamingo cake. Now, how this came about is my best friend Pauline from Formby, and she may be watching tonight, sent me a message earlier on in the year and asked me would I make this flamingo cake. The daughter had seen a picture of it. So the cake I'm going to do is based on that cake. And I went, yeah, of course, no problem. Because I've got to be honest, I thought I had enough time to practice. And as per usual in the life of Carol at Sugar and Crumbs, I never have to have enough time, so I had to wing it on the day. So on December the 16th, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to bake the cake, I've got to decorate it, and I've got to get it to Formby for that night. And anyhow, on my merry way I did. In fairness, I am really happy with how it looked. And all of you have seen that lovely little video that I posted. There's hundreds and hundreds of mistakes, but as you know, I'm a hobby baker, and it's all about having fun in the kitchen, it's about enjoying myself, it's about not stressing out. And I thought, you know what, I've actually knocked this together so easy that I think you guys could do it too. So I always mention that I'm a hobby baker, and I genuinely am. So any of you who's a professional out there, you know, if you're going to watch this live, take it for what it is. I'm in my own kitchen, enjoying myself, hoping to encourage people who are sat at home to give it a go and try and make it look as easy as possible. And, you know, they'll be winging it as well. So, first of all, let's have some shout outs. I'm going to look at my phone. I think John's just put the sound on. So I'll just get John to quickly pass it to me as well so I can see who's joined me. And just 1 second. So as you know, there's a 30-second delay. So I have to wait. So, oh, here we go. We've got quite a few little comments here. So, right, Chris Gill, welcome back. Thank you, Chris. Linda Chapman, good evening. Julie Crompton, hello. Hi, Jane Temple, Jane Anderson, Wendy Ann Preston, Elaine Lawton, Julie Smith, Sue Simpson, Annette, I can never say your name, Annette Antra. I can never say your name. And Led Janice, I think it is. Pam Kerrick, Helen Mills, Di Wheeler, Sarah Williams, Sue Pinnock, you need to call me tomorrow, Martin Dursley, Sherilyn Degg. Sue Pinnock knows why, because I want us to come on our Facebook Live. Trisha James, Robert Allen. So hi everybody, Lynn Feather. Gosh, you're all here. How exciting. Are you really bored on a Monday? So I'll actually try and answer some of those comments later. Sue Freeman, Geraldine Kisby, Petra, Tracy, Lindsay. Oh, there's two Lindsays, Lindsay Pearson, Lindsay Royal, Lisa Williams. So I have got to stop now because if I carry on shouting out everybody's name, I'm going to be here all night. So who joined us in the Christmas sale and the New Year's sale? So if you didn't join us, then you must join us now. So in the sale, all the icing sugars are back at £2 a bag. Okay, so they're all £2 a bag for 500 grams of icing sugar. You can buy your 2.5 kilo bag for £10. Your 5 kilo bag, this one's a great bag, especially if you like a particular flavour. So this one is £20. We do all these bulk bags in 15 flavours. I brought the cocoa powders out because I'm going to start doing a new Facebook Live on Thursdays. So I'm hoping you're all going to join me this Thursday at 11 o'clock. And this Thursday I'm going to use the cocoa powders. So for those of you who join me, we're going to make chocolate brownies, we're going to make chocolate cupcakes, chocolate buttercream, and if I can, I'm going to make chocolate mousse. So, so Laura's made those for you before, but we're going to make those at 11 o'clock on Thursday. And I am going to try and do every Thursday, but there will be the occasional one that I miss, maybe due to other commitments. The colour splash I popped in the sale for you guys. A lot of you do see it in your local cake shops at £2.25, £1.95. I think we've always been the cheapest at £1.65, and they're in the sale now at £1.45, so grab them. You know how well I think of the colour splash. That's the gels, and the powders, I've actually turned them around just so maybe you can get a better look at the colours. Now they're £2 each, and I put them in the sale at £1.80, and I think that's the best price. You won't get them cheaper anywhere else. And the powders are fabulous as well. I'm going to use a gel and a powder tonight, so we'll go over that. There's 29 colours in the gels, and I think there's 25 colours in the powders. Can't really remember, but you know, there it goes. Also, take a look in the clearance box, because in the clearance box I put in loads of goodies that I just want to get rid of out of the warehouse. There's not many left now. The sale's been going mad, so anything you want out of there, grab it while you can, okay? On the link tonight, I didn't put hundreds of things, like hundreds of links. What I've done is I've just said to you what we're going to be using tonight, and I put our actual website, www.sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, and if you go to where it says shop by brand and go into each of those brands, Colour Splash, Wilton, Icing sugars, you'll find all the products that I'm going to use tonight. And of course, private message me and I'll send you the link. Yeah? So let's just see, let's see what else is going on here. As you know, I'm running behind. I don't know why, but I'm nervous. Can you tell I'm nervous? John's looking at me with despair. So I can't see any more posts at the moment.
So some people said they missed Thursday because they're at work, but obviously it will be available to watch afterwards.
Absolutely, yes. So you can always watch it afterwards. It'll be pinned to our page. So when we pin it to the page now, Mondays will be pinned to the top of our page till next Thursday, till Thursday this week, sorry. And then when we go live Thursday, that one will be pinned to the top of the page till the following Monday, okay? You can also find us on our YouTube channel. I put the link there as well, and it's always good to go and watch there. And I really would like you to subscribe to YouTube. It's completely free, and I'd love you to subscribe to our channel, put your comments. It has certainly helped my ratings, and it has certainly then get my YouTube channel going, and you never know, people might look at it worldwide. I do know we have some American audience and some Australian audience, which is fabulous, and hopefully, you know, if you share it on YouTube, it'll go worldwide, and that's what we're looking for. I also gave you the link for Twitter and Instagram for those of you who are members of that, and I've also asked you if you'd join our baking club as well, which John has got lots of ideas, hopefully when he's feeling better. So John's not actually well at the moment. He's so if you hear the odd little splutter, it's him. It's definitely not me, and there's only me and him in the kitchen tonight. So there we go. So quite a lot of you, I'm sure most of you know how to make a Victoria sponge. I was really impressed with my sponge that I made for Valerie and Christina, and I think a lot of you were surprised as well that I made one so nice. So I actually thought I'd quickly put the ingredients together and show you how I actually made it, nice and slow, nice and easy, and we're going to pop it in the oven to bake, but I am going to use some that I made earlier today, okay? And off we go. So, John, let me just move this chair out of the way. So we've got 4 cameras in the kitchen, so I just need to ask John every now and again which camera to use. Oh, by the way, just before I remember, all of you have been getting your orders in this last week. You've been getting these free buttercream samples, and that is Mojito, Prosecco and Gin and Tonic. We asked you all for feedback, and I will say the most positive feedback is the Prosecco and the Gin and Tonic. The Mojito, not so good, so I don't think we're going to go with that one. So do expect these on the shelves on our website as from mid to late February. Okay, I'm open. What do you think, John?
Should be okay for that.
He's looking at me there. Okay, but these are delicious, and anybody who's ordered them, anybody who's placed an order, you will have got these. If you want to post your comments, what you think, fantastic, share it with others. And if you're going to post an order this week, they'll go in as well this week. They won't go in this week?
We still haven't done today now.
Have we run out already?
We've gone through so many of them.
Okay, you want to get in this week?
No, if people put it in the comments that they want them, then they will get some. But please put it in the comments of your order, and then you will definitely get some.
Okay, so crikey, John, we must have gone through hundreds then.
We have.
Because I was actually blending buttercream in between Christmas and New Year with David on our production, and we made hundreds then, and I know David had to come in the following Monday, which was last Monday, and he made a lot then, didn't he, as well? So we need to get him back on that.
And he's made them since as well.
And he's made them since as well,
yeah.
Crikey, I bet he hates Prosecco, Gin and Tonic.
Yeah.
So anyhow, if you really do want them, pop them in the comments, in your notes, just pop there that you'd like the free non-alcoholic buttercream samples, by the way. So You don't need to worry about any alcohol in them. They're completely natural and there's no alcohol in them whatsoever, but they do taste amazingly good. So the oven is on. I'm using a fan assisted oven and I've got it on 140, so I'm going to cook it nice and slow. I always used to bake my cakes between 160 and 180 and I always got that dome effect. So you'll see that these are nice and flat. And I said to you actually, I'd bake these today and meant I unwrapped them today. I actually baked them last week and then I cling filmed them. I put 3 layers of cling film on and popped them in the freezer, and I took them out this afternoon, took off the cling film and just left them to defrost. So we're going to do a lime green and a pink cake, okay? So let's talk about the ingredients. You're not going to have to listen to the mixer too much. So let me just get over here. Ingredients, what we're going to use. Let's just pop a few things on here. What we're going to use so you can see. Spin them round. I'm going to use lemon curd as well. And we're using the flavoured icing sugar. Right, okay. So the first thing I'm going to pop in the bowl is I'm going to put in, I'm making an 8-ounce Victoria sponge. Are we over there, John? So John swapped cameras now, and can you see what I'm doing here, John, with all this stuff in the way? Yeah? So, can you see there?
Come back, I'm just showing everyone the ingredients.
Ah, was you? John's got his new gadget now with 4 cameras, so he's got to tell me which one are we on. Are we back on this one? Fantastic. We put this new gadget in place simply because we had quite a few people sort of saying that they struggled with a bit of motion sickness, and I quite understand why. Poor old John had a really tough back really, filming for 2 hours, and he broke his back, as you all know, and so we had to find something fairly rapid, and we have, so hopefully this is going to work for us. So I'm making an 8-ounce Victoria sponge. Okay, so I've just put in 8 ounces of margarine. My margarine of choice, what I always use, and please believe me, that store cannot actually give me any money or any reward for using their product, but I always use Stork. You can use what you want, but I personally use Stork, and I've always used Stork all my life, okay? Then I'm going to use caster sugar. In fairness, I don't really care which caster sugar it is, just make sure there's no lumps in it. So I'm going to quickly pop that in. So that's 8 ounces of caster sugar. I'm going to put that on the beater. So we might get a bit of rumbling, so John might have to hold. What would you like to know? So John might have to hold one of the cameras. So I'll just pop this on a moment and John will shout out any comments if we need to. So let's just get that on. So let's twist that. Now when you are mixing, are we vibrating there, John, on the camera? Okay, so when we're mixing, we're going to mix this so it's light and fluffy. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap it up really quickly. And in the meantime, I'm going to crack 4 large free-range eggs. Now, let's up these. There we go. 1. You don't have to use free-range eggs, okay? That's my personal choice. The thought of me eating cage eggs absolutely kills me, and I'm quite particular when I go out to eat. I always want to make sure it does say free-range. It just makes me feel better about the whole experience. So we're going to make this light and fluffy. So here we are. Now this is the only time you can really beat the living daylights out of a Victoria sponge mix. If I go off camera, John will show me so I can sort of juggle back into place again. A Victoria sponge mix, when you're making a cake, it is really like chemistry, okay? Your ingredients have to be exact. So you'll see this is really nice, light and fluffy. Can you get it on the camera there, John? Mm-hmm. And yeah. So I'm going to give it another beat again, and then I'm actually going to add my one at a time and incorporate them. So, my mixer on. So did you all have a good Christmas and a good New Year? See my face, I'm boiling hot, can't believe it. Did you all have a good Christmas and a good New Year? I actually stayed at home, so that's egg number 1 in. So you may not be able to see it, I don't know whether John's got cameras or anything. Got cameras, you can see over there. So we've got egg number 1 in at the moment. Always make sure that the egg is well and truly incorporated. So we've got egg number 2 in. Try not to let it curdle. I'm just going to show you the consistency to that camera now. So are we on this camera over here, John?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, great. So I'm just going to show you the consistency. Can they see okay? Try not to let it curdle. And every now and again, just stop your bowl and scrape down to the bottom, simply because if you've got a KitchenAid, and all of you know, as much as I love KitchenAids for the colour and the design, I don't love it for its mechanical work. The beater doesn't reach the bottom. Okay, so we're going to put that one on. Let's go back, we've got 2 more eggs to incorporate. Back on again, so we can still do this at speed at the moment. Another egg to go in. So, has everybody had a great Christmas, John? John's forgot to read his messages.
I've got lots of things to do at once.
So anyhow, we've got a new baby for Christmas. We've got baby Ruby, Jasmine's little sister. So it's been a busy year for me. Last year, 2016, we've got baby Jasmine. And then we've got baby Harrison in September, who you all saw on the 18th, we popped in with Valerie and Christina. And then we've got little Ruby on the 20th of December. So very pleased that she's come along. She's a little beauty. And we call those 3 grandchildren phase 2 grandkids, which sounds really funny because I've got 4 older grandchildren, 2 at 15, 1 at 10 and little Holly at 9. So I've got Nathan, Josh at 15. Ella at 10 and Holly, who you all know, at 9 years of age, and she gets fed up at being the youngest, so she's really chuffed with herself that she is now the oldest of the phase 2 grandchildren. So that's how we call them, because of the big 9-year gap before we started again. And so now you'll see that mix there. Now you'll see it'll have, it's not curdled, but it's got a slight curdle. Do not panic. So it's not curdled. It's got a slight curdle. So we've got 8 ounces of self-raising flour. Now I always use McDoodles. I don't know whether it's McDoodles or McGoogles. What is it? Is it Doodles?
Doogles.
Whatever it is, okay. And this is the Supreme Sponge flour. I did use this all the time. Somebody told me about this a couple of years ago, way back in 2013. And then I very accidentally placed an online order with one of the supermarkets. Believed I ordered this, and I actually got another product by McDoodles. And it's not their Supreme one. And I was happily using that as well, not really thinking much about it. And then when Verena came on, she specifically asked for this, and I went, yeah, I use it all the time. And it just shows when you get used to the packaging, you don't really look. And she went, no, Carol, you want to be using this one? And I went, I do. Anyhow, so I'm back on this, and the reason that we recommend using this is it gives you a really nice light coloured cake. Instead of that yellowy colour cake, it gives you a more whiter colour cake. So thanks for Brina for putting me back on it with it again. And I'll just pop that there. So because there's a slight curdle in there, I'm just going to put a couple of spoonfuls of flour in. And John is opening the door because we're on fire. Do you want to turn the heating off, John? Mm-hmm. Oh, you have turned it off. Good man. So we're just going to fold this flour in. Am I still in camera shot? trying to get used to this new system. And then what we're going to do is we are...
Oh, you just put all this in front of the other two.
Sorry, let's get all this out of the way. Get that out of the way. We're going to use that in a minute. Get the eggs out of the way. Trying to be organised, you see. So, now you don't mix your flour in, okay? You must fold it in. I have sieved this flour, and that's another thing, you know, you do forget things. I used to bake when I was a young girl in my 20s because we were having 4 children. That's what I used to do with them on a Saturday. I used to bake, and I always sieved my flour. And then again, you know, learning to bake again back in 2013, a lady told me you don't have to sieve. But Marina came along and she said, no, it's better to sieve. So you know what, I've started sieving again. So it really is up to you what you prefer to do. But I'm just going to show you my way with the help of a few people that have been in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. And I have to say, I'm much happier with my sponge mix now. So we're just going to fold this in. And then at the same time, I am going to add a couple of teaspoons of flavouring. Now, you remember when the guys from Dr. Oka popped along? Well, this is one of their products. So let me just check, got the right spoon. So we stock this, and as it happened, I already used it anyhow. John, oh, we're up above, are we? Am I in the right camera shot? There, perfect. Okay, so we just added that flavouring in. So we'll get rid of that whenever I've done with the top. Get rid of that. So that is called vanilla bean extract from Taylor and College. It's on our website. Don't ask me how much it is, I actually don't know, but I will tell you it's very, very good. So what we're going to do is, are we still at the top, John? Hey, he's going to become a director in soon, isn't he? Can you imagine? Start doing films and everything.
You won't be able to afford me soon.
Why not? So we're just going to fold this in until all the flour is mixed in. You can see those nice big air rolls. We don't want to beat those air rolls out, because if you keep mixing it, those nice big air pockets will get knocked out. So those over there, we don't need that anymore. Then we're going to put some colouring in, and I am going to make these as pink cakes. So I'm going to use the hot pink. So this is the Colour Splash range. Don't know where we are. Where are we, John? Top, bottom? Oh, we're over here. Okay, we're going to use the Colour Splash range, and all I'm going to do is give this a really good squeeze in there and make this a nice pink. Now the Colour Splash range is bake stable, which means it doesn't lose its colour. Okay, now you know I'm a big fan of the Colour Splash range. It's not expensive. I like the clean tubes, and it does what it says. It comes out the colour it says on the packet, and I've got no complaints, and I think I've managed to convert a lot of you guys to it as well. So if you want to give all the newbies any feedback, that would be great. Is any newbies here tonight watching? How are we doing for viewers, John?
We have got 151 people watching at the moment.
Wow, I'm really pleased with that. That's not bad on our first night back. So, again, now my little secret, and it probably isn't a secret anyhow, but this is to add to this mix, 8 ounces, 2 tablespoons of warm boiled water. That means I boiled the water, okay, and I put it in a bowl to cool down, so it's not cold, it's warm, and I'm just going to mix that into the mix. If you ask me why I do it, I've no idea, okay? I was just told to do it, I've always done it, but apparently, from what I believe or what I remember, it makes the cakes lighter. So you'll have to decide yourself. I baked cakes for years not doing that, and then I remember something my grandma did only because I went to a cake class and the lady did it. And she said her grandma did it. And do you know what? It brought back memories of when I used to make butterfly cakes with my grandma when I was a little girl. Do you remember them butterfly cakes? When you used to cut the top out, put jam in the middle, then buttercream, and then the top you'd cut in half and make into wings. You don't ever see anybody making those now, but I know I used to make them every Saturday with her. So, here we go.
We have quite a few newbies.
Yeah, do we? Where are they from?
Yeah. We've got, not everybody said where they're from, but we've got Brenda, we've got...
Is that Brenda Lester?
Yes.
Yeah, hi Brenda Lester, I was talking to Brenda today.
We've got Lisa, we've got Jane, we've got Helen, we've got Alison.
Hi ladies, so pleased you've joined us.
Newbies.
Well, Brenda Lester isn't a baker actually. She actually uses our products, she uses a lot of the moulds off us to do clay craft work. So where you can use the Karen Davies moulds and the Katie Sue moulds, she uses it for them. And I was having a chat with her today, and over a little hiccup we had over an order, i.e. she got sent the wrong order and another lady got sent her order. I gave Brenda a little freebie to try our sugars, and I said, come on, come watch us tonight and let's see if we can get you baking, Brenda. So I'm so glad you've joined us. So here's our cake mix, okay, all mixed in.
How much warm water did you add?
I added 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to have a little clean up here.
Oh, someone said 3.
No,
2. 2, okay.
2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon per 4 ounces. So let's just move that out of the way a minute. Let's get the cake tins. Can't believe how hot I am. Now, I always use the Cake Release. You can use anything you want. Last week I lost the top on one of these, so I actually had to use the margarine. Back to the old-fashioned days. John's over here now. So what we're going to do is going to give this a spray. These pans that I'm using here are the Paul Hollywood pans. I would say whenever you're baking cakes, always invest in a good pan. I also use I think they're called Alan Silverdale, I think they are. Somebody might correct me on the name. I've got a lot of his pans as well, but do use a quality pan. I've made mistakes in my life by buying a cheap pan and then you wash it and it goes all rusty. So that tells you where that came from, doesn't it? Some country that sells you a pile of rubbish. So, and what I've done is I've put a bacon liner in there. So we're in there, bacon liner in each one. And then I am just going to go and get my scales. 1 second, I knew I needed the scales for something. And then I'm going to measure it evenly. So let me just put this on the scales. Which camera are we on, John? We're back on here? Should I be back on the turntable? Are we high enough? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So all I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this on here. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that's not going to work. We'll have to do this like that. That's not going to work. Right, okay. Show you how we're going to make this work. So we're just going to put that on there. I'm going to put the pan on there. There's a way around everything. We're going to zero it. And then we're going to put half the cake mix in. So just to make sure you get a nice even mix, make sure you do the same weight. So I'm just going to make this. So let me take that one off. I'll tell you what the weight is in a minute, because even though I've used 8 ounces of everything, I don't know actually what it all is when it's all together. Right, I do now. Right, okay, so in the first pan I actually put 500 grams of ingredients in, of the cake mix in. So I am short 400 grams here now. So I'm just going to take a bit out. I'm going to take 50 grams out. that off. Has anybody got any questions to ask John?
No, not at the moment.
Are you all enthralled in this cake, are you? So there you go. Right, okay. So we're about even now.
A couple of people have joined, so if you could just actually run through what you are actually going to do.
Okay. All I'm doing is showing you how to make a basic Victoria sponge. Okay. I've actually put the link. I've actually put our recipe website at the top of our page. And if you go to our recipe website, you'll see it as a Victoria sponge. So all the ingredients are there for an 8-ounce mix. And that's what we've actually put together. And we've coloured it pink as well. So when you do an 8-ounce mix, it's 8 ounces of caster sugar, any brand, 8 ounces of 8 ounces of margarine. Okay, I prefer to use stalk margarine. I've always used stalk. And you blend them together till they're nice and fluffy, and then you start adding your eggs. Okay, and you've got 4 eggs, and we're just going to pop these in the oven. My oven is on 140, hand assisted. It sounds a bit low to me, gas mark 1, but you guys who have a gas oven will know what that is. So it's 8:32, so we're just going to put that together now. And then we're going to get our pre-made sponges and put them together. So anyway, you put your sugar and margarine together till it's nice and fluffy. You mix it together till it's really nice and fluffy, nice and white. Add in your eggs. There's 4 of them. Okay. So you add in your eggs one at a time and beat them in. So don't let your mix curdle. If your mix starts to curdle from your pre-weighed flour, take a spoonful at a time and just fold that in so that the curdling stops. Once you've mixed all that in, add your flour, add your flavouring, add your colouring if you want to. Okay, so these are the ones I prepared earlier. So let's just get going. So buttercream, got some here. We're going to do this. Now, before Christmas you saw Valerie and Christina come on, yeah, and they came on and they layered up a cake, a 4-layered cake which I baked for them, and they layered it up so that they wanted a really smooth sides. Now with this flamingo cake you don't need smooth sides, okay? Going back to my cake mix, for those of you who are listening, once you've added your flour, you've added your flavour and your colour, you must fold it in, don't mix. Fold it all in, then divide it between 2 tins and pop it in the oven. So these are the sponges I made earlier, and I made them last week actually, and they've been in the freezer. So I've just taken off the back colour, and that's the pink that you can see. So when I say that add the colour, don't worry about this colour. This is the outer colour. So see how you can see it underneath there, the bright pink. So I've done that with the Colour Splash range. Okay, and jam.
I take it you'll be putting the recipes up afterwards.
The recipe is up on the website, and that is on the, I put it on the link, Sugar and Crumbs Mixing It Up. So if you go back to the top of the page, the Facebook page, when we finish, it does tell you to have a look at Sugar and Crumbs Mixing It Up. And if you go there, the first recipe is this Victoria sponge. So I am going to use a bit of lemon curd, because lemon curd is my favourite. So we're just going to pop that on. And when Valerie and Christina was here, you learn, you know, you do learn things. When they were here, somebody asked, are you going to use a dam? And I didn't know what a dam was. Well, I don't know. So where's my scissors? So buttercream already made in here. Bag's not open, so just puff it off. And then what we're going to do is, this is a dam, so we're just going to go all the way around. Yeah. And we're going to spread that in. I need another palette knife. Just 1 second, guys. Let me get another palette knife. Yeah, got one. I need one for the buttercream and one for the jam.
Mary's just asking what's the Stork brand, but yes.
Stork brand, yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can use any margarine, but I've used Stork all my life, okay? It's what my grandma used, it's what I've always used, and I can't comment on any other margarine because I do use only Stork for baking cakes. I never use any margarine for making buttercream. I know others do, but I don't. I believe buttercream should be made with butter. So we've got one layer on there. So let's get this green one. So who's going to join me on Thursdays then for my next lives? You're going to join me? What do they say, John?
Well, I think some people have, yeah, are going to join, yeah. I think a lot of people will be in work, but they can obviously watch it later.
Yeah, you can. Now, Thursdays isn't really about having a guest. It's more about baking with our sugars, because the one thing that we do want to teach you is what you can use our sugars for. Because we get loads of people asking, you know, what do you use the sugars for, and the cocoa powders. So we want to show you how to make different types of cakes with them. Can you add it to your sponge mix? You know, can you make ice cream with them, which you can. Can you add them to your whipped cream, which you can. Can you make meringues, pavlovas? Yes, you can. So, here we go. So all I'm doing is putting a little bit of buttercream in the middle. Don't need too much, because when we press the cake down, it will all go down. I'm hoping I'm going to make a better looking cake than the one I gave my friend. As much as she was very chuffed with it, I'm hoping this one's going to be a lot better. Okay, so this is my second go. I'm using lemon curd for my jam, mainly because I'm a lemon curd fan, but you can use any flavour you want. You can use strawberry jam, raspberry, black cherry, whatever your preferred choice is. You can use the white cake if you want. If you don't want to colour your cake, I've only done it just to go with the Flamingo theme. And we quickly made a Victoria sponge in pink, and that's in the oven, and it went in at 8:32. So
what time are you on Thursday? It's going to be 11 a.m. UK time.
It is. Well done, John. John will be here on Thursday, hopefully. Oh, he's looking upset now. Might be Maria then. Maria will definitely be here. Well,
that time's going to work for anybody who's in Australia, because that's probably going to be about 9 o'clock in the evening.
Ah, right, okay. No,
but it's probably not going to be a very good time for anybody in the US.
No.
Because that's going to be about 3, 4 in the morning.
So those guys will have to watch it later.
Yeah.
What I thought was, there's so many of you guys who are working shifts, and a lot of you are mums, so once you've got the kids to school, I thought, you know what, it's coffee time, come and join me on how to bake. And then when hubby asks you what you're doing, you can, voila, whip out the chocolate brownies, the chocolate cake, chocolate buttercream. I'm sure he's going to be highly delighted, as are the kids as well. So here we are, this is our last layer that we're going to pop on. I am absolutely boiling in here. I don't know whether you can see actually how hot I am. So I didn't show you before the lime green. So what I was saying to you before, when you bake it, you do get this brown colour on the top. You can take that off if you want to. Some people do, but you don't really need to, because when you cut through, you'll see it then. But you can actually see the really nice lime green colour. And the colours that I've used for these cakes are, the pink, are the two Colour Splash colours. So I've used Colour Splash Lime Gel and Colour Splash Pink, and they're on offer at the moment at $1.45, so grab them while you can. I don't think you'll get them cheaper anywhere else at all. So that's enough of that one. Let's get rid of the rubbish. Trying to clear up as we go. Right, this is the bit I hate, guys, okay? Buttercreaming. So let's get rid of that one. So let's fill in this, and let's hope I'm going to have enough buttercream to go around. So again, I've seen this done many times. Never done it myself, but then I watched Valerie and Christina do it the other day, a few weeks ago. Looked really nice and easy. You don't really need to dowel a cake this size. If you were going to put another cake on top or sit this on top of a cake, then yes, you do need to dowel it. But just like this, no, you don't. So, and I hope to God I have enough buttercream, because the last thing I want to have to do is make some more. So, yeah, let's get that one out. So I'm just going to give it a quick crumb coat round. So remember guys, we don't need to make this smooth at all for this cake, okay? It's going to be a rough crumb coat, and I'm sure those of you who can't get it smooth are going to be absolutely delighted that they don't have to do that. So what do you think of the colours of the cake? What colours would you do them if you were doing the cakes? Would you keep it white or would you colour them? I'm not going to cut this cake up tonight because I've got the photographer coming tomorrow to take a better image, but I will cut it once he's taken an image tomorrow, and then when that image comes in, I'll show you what it looks like cut open then. So, we've got any questions, John? Because it's quiet in here. Just want to do this.
Fatten's asking, can she use any colour for airbrushing?
Who's what?
Can she use the colours for airbrushing?
Not these colours, no. She'll need to use airbrush colours. Right. These are gels for your cake mixes and your buttercreams in your icing. I mean, I may be wrong, you may be able to use them for gels, but I think you'd have to water them down, and I really don't know how to water them down.
How long is the cake in the oven for?
The cake is in the oven for half an hour to 40 minutes. So we'll test it in a minute. So here's my next bag of buttercream, and if we don't have enough, we're in big trouble. Okay, that's all I need. Not enough buttercream, and then I'm going to have to go and send John to go and get me some butter out the other fridge, and he's just looking at me there as though to say no. So let's see if we can spread this along. I'm sure we can. As I say, you don't need to have all the layers of buttercream because we're going to put some colours on it, and it doesn't need to be flat either. The thing is, I pre-mixed the pink, and I'm probably thinking I've mixed too much pink, but anyhow, this will do. So let's do this. So John, any more questions while the silence is on, while I do this, so people don't get too bored with the silence?
How much buttercream do you need for this cake?
Right, okay, so I've used 1.5 kilos of butter and 1.5 kilos of flavoured icing sugar, and the flavour of choice tonight is velvet vanilla. Now the one I made for my friend, I used the pina colada. Yeah. Is that the only question in, John?
It is really at the moment, yeah.
So what were you all doing for Christmas, guys? Was any of you doing anything exciting? Has any of you got that Aussie flu? Everybody I've spoke to at the moment seems to have Aussie flu. What happened to the normal flu? So thankfully I haven't got it, and I usually do catch a really bad viral flu in January. So fingers crossed I don't get it. But John has got the flu, not the Aussie flu, so he's not been well, and hopefully I don't get anything off him. So, got a little bit of buttercream left here, so don't panic just yet, John. Albeit though I'm panicking that we might have run out. This is the problem when you go live. Just got to deal with it, haven't we? So those guys who are newbies, who've not watched me before, you'll know with my regular followers that I am not a professional cake decorator. Generally wing it on the night, okay? And it's more about giving you guys confidence to bake and to watch the mistakes I make and either improve on them or be quite happy with the mistakes I make and live with them. So one of the mistakes I've made tonight is I've not made myself enough white buttercream. In fact, I made plenty of white buttercream with the amount I've told you. But if John passes me that ball there, you will see I covered a fair amount of it in pink, which maybe I shouldn't have done. I should have maybe saved a little bit more white. So, but we have got some white here, so don't panic. What we haven't got, we'll manage without. But it just means when you come to do your cake, just maybe don't do all your pink like I did, trying to be clever tonight.
Well, Tony was in Hong Kong and Singapore for Christmas.
Tony?
Yeah.
Who's Tony?
Tony O'Grady.
All right. Look at you, Tony. Wish I was there. Right, so as I say, you don't need to make this nice and smooth. So you can rough coat this, and we are going to have to rough coat it. Okay? And then John, can you pass me that pan over there? Just let me put a little bit more buttercream down here, guys. That big roasting pan, John, with the gridding on there. Can you pass me that, please?
Got the grid as well.
Yeah. Just stick it. Yeah, just stick it there for a minute. I'm going to need it in a minute. So you know you'll get one of those big pans in your oven. Okay, one of those that you can roast in or do your toast on if you've got a fan assisted oven. Well, make sure you've got that to hand. Okay. So we're going to use that in a minute. Right, okay. Now, you can use, now for some of you guys out there, my recommendation is pop this in the fridge, make yourself some more white buttercream, okay, and do another layer. But, as I've already told you, I haven't got enough buttercream, so we're just going to have to manage with what we've got. So let's get that out of the way. Let's clean up our board. Doesn't have to be smooth, this, okay? So I'm not looking for the smooth effect, and you'll understand why in a minute, because we're going to add a bit of green onto it and a bit of blue, so the blue looks like the sky, and a bit of green. There we go. Right, so in here we've got some green, so let's add this. Where's the scissors?
You run through the buttercream recipe. I think you've given the incorrect quantities. It's double
Yes,
the
I
icing
have.
sugar.
Do you know
to
what I've
butter.
done? You're quite right, I have. It's 750 grams of butter and
1.5 kilos.
and 1.5 kilos of icing sugar. You know what that was? That was a trick thing that I said to you deliberately to see if you were paying attention. So who was paying attention then?
Well, Jenny's picked up on it, and I'm not sure who else.
Well done, Jenny.
and I think Wendy's picked up on it as well, because she's asking you to clarify the buttercream recipe.
Oh, well, I might let you off then.
In other words, telling you that what you just said was
a load of rubbish.
A load of rubbish. Yeah.
You know I can't add up. Any of you been watching me or come to the cake shows, you know I can't add up. I'm sure I'm dyslexia, so I've got something wrong with me. So we're just going to put a couple of dashes of the green on here, okay? And we're also going to put a couple of dashes of the blue on. So you'll see mine in it. We're just going to put a couple of those on. So well done to those people who were paying attention. That was a trick question. I did do that deliberately. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. So we're just putting a couple of dashes of blue on, and then we're just going to pop this in. Okay. Now you can use any scraper you want. The one that I'm using is one that I got off my colleague Alexander from Russia. Okay, so this is one of his. You can use the plastic scrapers, we sell them on the website. I've got none of these on the website at all, I'm afraid. So, so I'm just going to scrape this round here, just to give it an effect. I don't know what it looks like till I come round. It looks a bit rough. Just got to go with it because this is how it is on the night. Don't worry though. Just to give you that. It's meant to look like blue sky and a bit of grass. I'm just going to wing this round a bit more, and if I put this scraper into hot water, it'll give me a smooth effect. Yep, so we're just going to have to live with it like that. Okay, let's scrape that off. That will have to do. And then, so we've got 10 minutes and then my cakes will have been in the oven half an hour. We'll have a look at them then. So let's just get this out of the way. So I don't know if my cake's going to go a bit high when I do this, but we'll see. John will be able to tell me. Right. Is that too high, John? When we put the cake on? Can everybody see? Yeah? Right, okay, so we all have sprinkles in the cupboard, don't we? Loads of sprinkles, bits and bobs, everything. So all I've done is I've just got a big bowl and I've just threw them all together. You can use any colour you want, and I decided to go for pinks. I put all different shades in. Are we up here, John, this camera? Top camera? This camera? Which one? He's grinning at me at the moment. Which camera are we on? Top one? This one?
No, you're on the top one.
We're going on the top one. So all I've done is, I've just got a whole load of sprinkles out my cupboard, mixed them all together in the bowl, because I'm going to use these. I won't use them all, but I just wanted a combination of different shapes. So you'll see there's hearts, there's the nonpareils, there's strands in there, there's bigger balls, there's some shiny ones. You'll see that there's some little stars in there as well. So I just wanted them in there, okay? And then we are going to now, this is the messy bit, we are now just going to rub those around the cake here, okay? Now the good thing is when you use a board like this on top of your pan is so that you can collect them. So make sure that this pan is clean. Don't use one that you've been doing your cheese on toast on, or your cooked meat or bacon on. Make sure it's nice and clean, and all we're going to do is we're just going to lift it. Doesn't have to be even, so you just grab it by the handfuls and push it into the side, okay? That's all we're going to do. And move it up. This is why it doesn't have to be neat, that nice smooth edge. Now I know some of you are going to want it really smooth, because some of you will have your OCD, but I don't have OCD where cake decorating is concerned. And just remember, this is all old sprinkles, but not old sprinkles, but these are all sprinkles that I've got half tubs with in the cupboard, and I've just basically chucked them all together to make this combination. The sprinkles I'm using are all natural, apart from the very shiny ones. They're not natural. And as you know, we sell the natural sprinkles on our website. So those ones who want all the gluten-free ones, no allergens or anything like that, if you go to the cake toppers section on our website, you'll see them there. So I've got plenty on here. I'm just moving it up the board. Yeah, so I think I've got plenty. Then we're just going to run it off the board now. Which camera are we on, John? Oh, on the top. Can you put it on the side?
Here.
Oh, you're here. Can they see easy from there, or the other one?
It's been on the side one.
Oh, it's been on the side as well. Okay. The thing is, now that we've got 4 cameras in the kitchen, I actually don't know which one John's on unless he tells me. So we're just going to put that on there, yeah. There we go. And then when we collect them all into the middle, now dust these off with your hand. And what I should have brought in, a pastry brush with me, just to brush off the others. I don't think we've got, no, that one. That's for cleaning the Vitamix, John. But thanks very much. There we go. So we're off. Okay, so let's take that off. Let's take that off, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Got my gripper on here so my cake doesn't fall off. And then, let me just move this out of the way, girls. I'll come back to that in a minute. There you go, John. Okay, so we've got this. We're going to use the Mrs. Whippy nozzle and the pink buttercream that I had before. So just give it another beat. And again, in the pink buttercream, you'll see how lovely and pink it is. I have used pink colour splash, yeah? So I'm going to use the Mrs. Whippy nozzle for this one. This is the mini Mrs. Whippy, and I have cut the bag too short. So there's a very good chance my nozzle could pop out, but hopefully not, hopefully it'll survive. So if I feel it go to pop, I will grab another piping bag to pop it into. So next week, guys, so you know what I'm doing on Thursday now. So Thursday I'm going to be using the Sugar and Crumbs cocoa powders, and we're going to be making chocolate cakes. We're going to make buttercream with the cocoa powders, okay, and we're going to make mousse and water icing glaze. And what else did I say that we'll make with it? Can't remember. We'll make something else with it as well. So Mrs. Whippy. So all we're going to do here now is we're going to squeeze. This is the baby mini Mrs. Whippy. We're just going to squeeze, squeeze. I'm just going to sit down so I can see if I've got them all the same height. On fire. I'll start that way. Really nice bright pink this. And then we're just going to pop that final one in there. Right, so made too much pink buttercream. That's where the rest of my white was required for my second coat. But as you know, we're live on the night. We've got to wing it as we go along. Right, John, can you pass me that tray again, please, with out the top bit? Are you enjoying it so far? Are we getting good responses?
We are.
So there's a lot left in there, and I've got a lot left there. So what I'm going to do now is, if John goes to the top camera, you'll see that I'm just going to fill up the top, which is why it doesn't have to be so nice and smooth on the top. And this is why I say, guys, this cake is great for those people who just cannot get a smooth edge. Me, I'm one of those. So I can't get a perfect edge. So there we go. I'm going to fill that in. That's a nice little cheat. Okay, there we go. Right, so there you go, John, you can have that back. That's the rest. We don't need the sprinkles anymore, they're all done. So let's move this out the way for a minute. So I'm just going to put this over here. Now, nozzles in the pink here. So I've made a light pink, and we've got white that we're going to make orange, and we've got dark pink. So I've done a round 5, which we're going to use for the orange. I've got a round 10, a Wilton round 10, so a Wilton round 5, just a round tip, very small, and a Wilton number 10 round. Okay, so the 5 is going to be for the orange, for the beak and the legs, and the 10 is going to be for the body And I'm also using the 102 petal tip. So what we're going to do is, for this one, let me get a spatula again. Clean it up. So for the 102 Wilton tip, this is very much like the 104 guys that I show you when we're using Nifty nozzles to make the petals on the roses. Okay, and Valerie and Christina use this one to make those little pine cones with at Christmas. So as you know, I always say keep the thicker end at the bottom, yeah, and the thinner end at the top with the seam. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the darker colour.
What about the sponges in the oven?
Sponge in the oven. 1 minute past 9. 1 minute. Just let me show you what I'm going to do with this first. It'll be fine. I'm only doing it on low. So I'm just going to run.
They're okay, Martin, apparently.
Yeah, don't worry, Martin. Okay, so I'm just going to run the darker colour up the seam of the bag. Yeah? You'll see why after. And then I'm going to use the light pink underneath. So let's get that light pink. And this is for the feathers. So this is a slight variation on what I did on the first cake. Because the first cake, like I said, that was winging it number 1. This is winging it number 2. You never know, by the time I get to number 10, I could be classed as a professional on flamingo cakes. Who knows? So what we're going to do with this now, I'm just going to show you on this board. Which camera should I go on? This one or this one? Yeah, so I'm just going to get the ruffle going. So just 1 second. I just need to feed this out. So I'm just going to blend it out until it's really nice and light. Can you see it coming all nice and light now? That's what I'm looking for. So that's ready. Show you again. Sorry, in case you didn't get it. Yeah, so that one's ready. So that's that one. I'm just going to put the tip into a damp cloth. Right guys, let me go and check the cakes a minute. John, can you pass me a skewer out there please? I forgot to bring in a cake mix. I'm going to clip my hair up as well. Right, and where is the tea towel gone? Can you pass me the tea towel, love? Right, super. Sorry for disappearing, guys. Just let me check the oven. Right, okay. When I put the skewer in, they are just coming out a tiny bit wet. So it's 30 to 40 minutes and it's at 30 minutes. I'm just going to give it a few more minutes yet. So we've done that one. Then my next nozzle is the round. So let's do the round. And this is going to be in the dark pink as well. And this is going to be for the neck and body of our flamingo. So you don't need a lot, don't fill your bag up a lot. I've put far too much in here already. So you don't need a lot. Let's get that one ready. And because I don't want them to crust over, I'm actually just putting them in a damp cloth. Do you remember I told you guys, just keep them a bit damp. So let's move this one out of the way. Move the rubbish out of the way. And then we've got this one now, we're going to make into an orange colour. Now, I have used the Colour Splash Orange, the Colour Splash Orange gel, but what I did like better was the powder, okay? It came out of a really bright, vivid orange. So what you need to do with this is put in as much as you feel fit. I can't tell you the measurements. You know what, sometimes there's a thing called less is more, but just keep putting it in until you get to the right consistency. So let me just blend this in. I think it looks alright, my cake. What do you think? Not bad, does it, eh? Seems he's only got one coat on, winging it on the night. What do you think, guys? Who's going to give it a go? So my friend, she posted on the comments last night to say it tasted absolutely gorgeous. I think Rachel, it was for her 21st, and she had a whole flamingo thing for her 21st birthday. And I don't sell my cake, so it was a gift from me. And because, as I say, I'm not a cake maker, and I actually don't want to make cakes for anybody. I just enjoy doing them for fun. So I'm just going to put in a bit more orange. To be fair, I think it's orange enough, but I just really want to go really, really vibrant. Let me have a clean up here. Any questions, John?
How much icing sugar does one of the flavoured bags make up?
Right, okay, well, this is one of the things I want to go over when we're using flavoured icing sugar. When we're on Thursdays, when I'm going to start doing sessions then. The flavoured icing sugar, some of you use it full strength, and there's lots of flavours that I would say use full strength. So I'd certainly say use the lemon drizzle full strength, and I can't think of any of the others at the moment. And when I say full strength, that's a full bag of icing sugar, 500 grams with 250 grams of butter. You can dilute it, and a lot of you do dilute it, and I've actually diluted the velvet vanilla, in fairness, tonight. I've actually used 750 grams of velvet vanilla and 750 grams of plain icing sugar. Okay, and it smells gorgeous and it tastes gorgeous. I have to tell you, I think John's amazed that I actually haven't put much in my mouth because I'm on a diet. Lost 3 pounds, so on week 1. Couldn't read the scales and got all my numbers muddled up in the week, and told my son I'd lost 9 pounds. I was ever so devastated. John couldn't believe it either, legged it up the stairs, had a look at the scales and came back with the news that I'd actually only lost 2 at that point. So where I thought it was a 1, it was actually 11. So I won't tell you how many stones I was, but anyhow, when I jumped on the scales originally, I was something 13 pounds, and I thought I was something 1 pound, and it turned out I was something 11. So he was giggling to himself the other day, John. But anyhow, the main thing is I've lost 3 pounds so far.
Well done.
Well done. Oh, thanks, John. And John's on a diet with me, not that he needs to be. He only needs to lose half a stone, and he can lose that by not drinking, which he has done. He's been poorly this week. Oh, there you go, he's bragging. He's lost 6 pounds, and that's because he's had no wine this week. Right, okay, so there's that, there's that. Let me Wilton 5 round, and then I'm going to go back to my cakes. Let's see how they are. So I've made quite a bit of orange, but you know what, you don't need all this, in fairness. You only need a tiny bit. So again, I could have saved more of this white for my second crumb coat. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the bag there as well. We're going to get rid of that. Just going to get rid of all that. Just going to do a bit of a clean up a minute. And then we'll bring the cake back. So, has any of you got any bakes on this week? Or are you going to have a go at this flamingo cake? Does it look easy so far? What do you think? Have I made it look easy, or have I made it look difficult? Feel free to be honest, don't mind. And let me just go back to my sponge cake. Right, that's ready. Any more questions, Sean?
No, saying well done. Weight loss.
Pardon?
Saying well done on your weight loss.
I know, it's not great though, 3 pounds, is it? Eh? But it's better than nothing. So there we go. Cake number 1 is definitely done. And so's number 2. Move that over there. I've got a lovely sugar and crumbs lady, so I'm just going to move these out the way, and then by the time I finish doing the flamingos, maybe these will be ready to take out the pan. So let me just put them back over there, out of the way. And you can just a little tip how you can sort of see that they're done. You will see that they're actually pulling away. Can you see? They're breaking away from the sides. So this one's breaking away from the sides, and so is that one. Yeah, and these two mixes were made with an 8-ounce cake mix. If you want to make a very deep sponge, put it in a deeper pan. These are great, really. And to be fair, once you've jammed them and put them together, I think they're deep enough. Right, okay, so let's go back to our cake. Now I've got to do the scary bit in front of you guys. I've got to do the flamingos. So somebody told me I got my feet the wrong way around earlier. And anyhow, I checked and I hadn't. So I think we need to go on this camera, John.
I did not.
Pardon? No, I hadn't. We could go that way. Did you see that comment?
Yes.
You did? Yeah, no, I checked. I hadn't. Right. So are we going onto this camera? Because they can't see anything there. Yeah, so we're going to use the 10 round. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? And I've got the dark pink in here. Okay, so I am right-handed, so hopefully the bag won't get in the way too much. I'll try and do that. And it's not neat and perfect. Some of you guys are going to be brilliant at this. I can't tell you I am brilliant at it, but you know what? It's going to look okay. So what we're going to do is, are we there, John? We're on both cameras, are we? Flicking from 1 to 2. So what we're going to do is, we are going to just start there with a ball, and we're going to go around, and we're going to go around, yeah, and we're finished. Now, it doesn't look like a flamingo at the moment, but don't worry, he will do. So I just want to make sure I'm doing in the same size. I think John's laughing there. So we're just going to do another S, and they don't all have to look the same. Don't worry if they don't look the same. And then I'm going to put 4 flamingos on here, so not really you can see. So we're just going to start there. I'm going to go around, and we're going to go there, yeah. And then, so we've got 1, 2, might not have done these evenly, guys, so we're going to have to put one there, okay. So when you're doing it in your own kitchen, you'll be able to spend a bit of time working out where they should go, yeah. So this is what we're going to do now. So we're going to get our 101, and we're going to do it, fill in the body, okay? And we're just going to make little ruffles. So in fact, I'm going to turn it this way. So I'm just going to turn it upside down, and we're just going to make little ruffles. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. And I might change the way I'm doing this on another one. There's nothing wrong with all your flamingos looking different. So we're just going to John's not opening the wine there, by the way. He's just opening up some sparkling water. So that's all we're going to do. So we could do that one like that. If you don't want to do the ruffles, we could do what I did for Rachel's cake. Go back to the round, and we could just do that one, where we're just going to swirl it and feather it. See, I'm just building up the body there. Yeah. This one we'll go back and do some ruffles on here. So I know my flamingos are not perfect, guys, but this is because I'm doing it live. I'm just giving you the idea, and I'm winging it, as you know. What does it look like? What do you think so far, all of you? Think it's all right? Going to go across a couple of times. Yeah. So all I've done is done a ruffle. I bet you're all thinking it doesn't look like a flamingo yet, don't you? And you're quite right. And we're just going to ruffle this one here. Yeah. Right, okay, so there's our bodies, those we'll have to do. And then we're going to get our orange legs, okay? And we're going to do different legs for them all. So this is our number 5. So first of all, I'm just going to pop his beak on. What are you laughing at, John?
I'm glad, I thought you were putting the legs up there.
Just put his beak on first. And I'm just going to pop his eye on, which is a chocolate drop that I've used. You know those chocolate drops that you get? So I'm just going to stick his eye on there. So his eye's on. And we're just going to do his legs. And we're going to start up. So let me just see.
Do we sell the sprinkles?
We do sell sprinkles, but to be fair, what I've actually used here is just all what I've used in the cupboard, and everybody always has some in the cupboard. So we're just going to go up. Let's just move that one out the way there. So we're just going to start off with his foot there, and we're going to go down. I'm going to go off, yeah? So that's foot number 1. And then we're going to put this one's beak on. They're starting to look like flamingos, guys. What do you think? Does that one look like a flamingo yet? John is laughing his head off here at me. I'm sure he's I didn't say what he's you dying to fall about, John. So we're just going to have this leg going up that way and there, and then we're going to bring down our leg as well. So we're there, bit of knobbly bit there, just different legs to give you the idea. And then this one here, I was told it was the wrong way around. So I'm now going to do it the other way if I can do. And then I'm going to do this one. I'm going to start it here. Little thing up. And we're going to go there. And we're going to go there. Yeah, reach them. And then here.
Go off, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can turn the oven off, sorry. I'm always telling John about not turning the oven off, and I've gone and left it on myself. And then this one, we are going to do one leg up, and we're going to do the other leg like that, yeah, and that's that one there. I'm going to put his beak on. What do you think, guys? Do you like it?
Yeah.
And I'm going to put his beak on that one because I forgot. Did I like it, John?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Get my other eyes out. These are just chocolate drops. Okay, you can get those in little cake toppings. I don't sell these myself. I can get those in cake toppings. I'm going to stick his eye on. I'm going to stick this one's eye on here. Now in fairness, as you can tell, I've done some mistakes again. I should have maybe measured the cake so that we had a flamingo there and a flamingo there. So where that one is there, he should have come here. So I'm a bit too forward. See how those two are close together? But I'd say they were busy mates, yeah? Chasing this one, and this one's the leader here, yeah? And then I am going to
If you
pop
spin
in.
it fast enough, no one knows.
If I spin him fast enough, no one notices.
Yeah.
I need to spin him the other way as well, actually. And then I'm going to pop on my glitter, because as you all know, I love the rainbow dust glitter. Now, this is the glitter that's for cake decoration purposes only. If you don't like using this one, use the edible glitters. In fairness, okay, this has not been banned here in the UK. It's perfectly safe to eat. Your body just doesn't digest it. And if it doesn't digest it, you know what that means, doesn't it? It means that you are going to bling and blue. So, can't get it on there. So, that's all it means. It won't do you any harm unless you decide you're going to start sucking gallons of this stuff. But this little bit of bling on here won't do any harm whatsoever. So let's bling it up. Okay. Let's clean my board up. Who's going to have a go?
Yeah, quite a few people.
Is Martin going to have a go? Wendy. Is Martin going to have a go, or his wife have a go? Wendy. Right, so I'll throw it that way round. So guys, what do you think of my flamingo cake finished? Is it going the right way round? Are we going the right way round, guys? Do you like it?
Yeah.
I think that was very quickly put together, that. So actually, an hour and a half. So John is so chuffed. That's took us an hour and a half to bake a cake, make the buttercream, decorate the cake. Admittedly, we have only got one crumb coat on. We should have had two, but in fairness, I've got spare buttercream here, far too much here, far too much orange. And if I'd worked it all out, you only need that much orange really. And I shouldn't have maybe mixed so much pink. I actually thought I needed much more pink than I did. And so I would have had plenty for my white buttercream. Okay, so any questions you want to ask, guys? Feel free. John's just disappeared again, so I don't know what you're saying. I hope you like it. If you don't like it, say so.
Lots of likes.
Oh,
lots of likes, lots of loves, thumbs up, hearts, everything. Yes, they all love it.
Oh, that's what I like. You are so good, really are so good. So anyway, I hope you newbies have really enjoyed tonight. Baking with myself, just to go over it again, I'm a hobby baker, and all I'm actually trying to achieve is to show you how to use our products here at Sugar and Crumbs, which is the flavoured icing sugars, flavoured cocoa powders, also to get people in to do demos on their products, or maybe I use their products. And it's all about having fun back in the kitchen. And I do know when I speak to so many people, they're actually scared. They watch cookery programs, bakery programs, and they're actually scared of baking because it has to be so perfect. Well, all those regular followers will know what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. It's all about you enjoying it, you having a good time, and you feeling that you've achieved something. And I think that I've made something here. It's not my design. I found it on Google somewhere. In fact, my friend Pauline sent it to me that she found on Google. Her daughter found it on Google. And I just had to copy it. I just had to wing it myself. And hopefully you guys are going to do the same. And I'm going to see loads of flamingo cakes in the next few weeks or two. And we have made that in 1.5 hours. So let me just move that out of the way. What are you saying there, John? I'm just going to get the sponge cakes now. Let me just move that out of the way when I get the sponge cakes. So we can get those out of the pan so you can see how nice they are. They're ready to come out. And I think I have a tin. Yeah. Let's put them on here a minute. Because it's still a little bit warm. So I'm probably getting them out too early for you. But here we go.
Will you do ketchup?
Am I going to do ketchup? Would they like me to do ketchup? John's like, oh no. Would you like me to do ketchup so you can ask some questions? I'm more than happy to if you'd like me to. If you want me to tell you what's happening next week I'm going to show everybody who's missed out how to use the genuine Russian piping tips, which are Nifty nozzles. If you haven't got a Nifty nozzle, unfortunately you bought a Chinese copy. But I'm going to show you how to use those next Monday. So Thursday on our Facebook Live at 11 o'clock, I'm going to show you how to use the cocoa powders, okay? And then on cocoa powders, we're going to make chocolate cake. We're going to make chocolate buttercream from the cocoa powder. We're going to make water icing. And hopefully I am going to be able to show you how to make a chocolate mousse as well, okay? So let's just move those out of the way there. And then all you've got to do is just take off the edges. There we go, okay. 2 nice flat sponges ready for our next cake. And I might even use that next week when we use Nifty nozzles. So if you want to put this in the freezer, make sure it's completely cool, okay? So make sure it's completely cool. I do hear that some people do wrap it up when it's warm. I don't, I wait for it to cool. I don't know which is the right way or the wrong way, but I make sure they're completely cool. And then I wrap them 3 times in cling film. So I wrap cling film around it once, twice, 3 times. And I go in different directions and then I pop them in the freezer. And they can stay there for quite a few weeks. So if you want to bake in advance a whole load of cakes, then you're more than welcome to. So as I say, next week I'm going to be back doing Nifty nozzles Monday night. I'm going to show you how to 2-tone, triple tone, how to decorate your cupcakes, and we'll put something together. We'll either put them all in a bowl or in a window box or something like that. We'll make a nice arrangement with them, and I'll use these cakes soon, because to be fair, I want to use these in a couple of weeks. I'm going to show you how to make blossom decorations on the cakes using the 102, 103 and 104 tips. So I'll save these for in a few weeks time. These will come popping back out again. And Thursday, as I say, we're making the cocoa powders. Don't forget, guys, the sale is on, okay? All your icing sugars are the cheapest they've ever been, £2 a bag. So grab them all now while you can. The colour splash gels are reduced to £1.45 in the sale. The dusts are reduced to £1.80 and cheaper than anywhere else. The cocoa powders are £3.99. We've got the big bulk bags. You can buy the bags in packets of 5 if you don't want to go through all 36 flavours. There's the bundle deals, buy those. And then pop over to our clearance box on our website as well. There's loads of things in the clearance box. Some of them is because they're Christmas things, you know, they've got a couple of pounds off, so grab them now. I know people have made some great savings. Grab them now, ready for next year. Some things are not going to be returned again because we just want to get rid of them, and we want to bring new things in. We want to try and bring new things in all the time if we can do. So I hope you've enjoyed working with me tonight, working with me, watching me, whatever it is. And let's see, it's 9:30. John's saying we're not doing a Facebook catch up.
We'll have a look and see how many questions there are.
Okay, so John's going to have a look to see how many questions there are. That decides whether we're not. I tell you what, we'll do a 5-minute catch up in 10 minutes. So that will be 20 to 10, and we'll come back for a 5-minute catch up, which gives John and I a chance to quickly look through all the questions and maybe answer those. So do make sure you come back and join me then. If not, I hope that I'm going to see you all on Thursday morning, all of you, those at home, yeah? And I hope you've really enjoyed tonight. And let's bring back my Flamingo cake. I'm quite chuffed with him. He's number 2. Maybe time I get to number 3, 4 and 5, he will get better. But overall, I'm quite happy with him for number 2. And I hope you think the same too. And I'll see you in 10 minutes. Bye-bye. Hi everyone. Just a minute, I'm just going to get John to pass me my cup of coffee. So while you all join me, as you know, there's a 30-second delay. So you could probably see me, but I probably can't see you yet. So if you're here, again, after watching tonight, pop on your comments what you thought. Did you enjoy it? Is it something you would give it a go? Do you think I made a good job of it? On my second attempt of a flamingo cake. I think I was quite brave really to actually make it for my friend just on a whim like I did, and then to actually come live with it as well. And you know, it's a bit, you know, John looks at me as I'm a bit bonkers at times, but I think sometimes you've just got to go with it, and there's no point me practicing until it's perfect, and then when I can do it perfect, you guys sit on the other end of your camera there, or phone or computer, looking at it thinking, well, I could never make that. So you know what, let's work together on these things. Let's see how they go, and in fairness, I don't think anybody will be disappointed for that as a cake. What do you think? What do they say in there, John? So this is our flamingo cake. I have given him different legs, so you can do any legs that you want. I've given him a frilly body there to give him like a feather like. I've just used the round there, swirled it around. And these two are put a little bit close together, so maybe when you're doing your own cake, you know, it might be a good idea if I'd had more time or thought about it. I should have actually marked it and sort of like that, and then decided where my head was going if I wanted to let my OCD click in. So John, has anybody got anything to say?
Yeah, we've got up to 50 people, and lots of positive comments about everybody enjoyed it.
Fantastic, glad you've enjoyed it, because you've got me for the next 3 weeks, Mondays and Thursdays. So going forward, while John gets a few questions up, let me just tell you some of the things I've used tonight. So I have made a very easy Victoria sponge. Now it's on our recipe website, so we have two websites. We have the shop website, which is www.sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, and then we have a recipe website, and the recipe website is at the top of our page is the tag for tonight, okay, and it gives you all the names of everything. But if you've all got one of these bags of icing sugars in your cupboard, in pink here it will show you the name of our recipe website, which is www.sugarandcrumbsmixingitup.com, and on there it will show you how to make cakes, cupcakes, buttercreams, fudge, marshmallows, ice cream, and the Victoria sponges on there, the buttercream recipe that the girls use from the Queen of Hearts. There's loads of things on there, okay? So that's that website, and if anybody messages me, I will send you the link as well for the Victoria sponge. It was a basic Victoria sponge. I just used an 8-ounce mix, and that's produced these 2 layers. I used 2 separate tins, as you know, and I would probably make 2 batches of 8, okay? So to be fair, that is actually enough for a Victoria sponge if you want to put plenty of cream and strawberries on, and then use your little nozzle on the top for decorations and make yourself a nice Victoria sponge. If you want to make it higher, use 2 lots of batches of 8 and make it high, which makes you this really nice big deep cake. You can put jam in the middle, lemon curd, or just buttercream. Tonight I have used lemon curd because that's my favourite, but you can use whatever you want, and I've used buttercream. I did make a mix up on the buttercream recipe, okay? Tonight I actually used 750 grams of unsalted butter. For those people who don't want it sweet, I would probably use half unsalted butter and half salted butter. And the salt will take away the sweetness of the icing sugar. So if you don't want it as sweet, use half and half of unsalted and salted butter, okay? So that's 750 grams I've used for this particular cake. And then I've used 1.5 kilos of flavoured icing sugar. And in fact, I didn't use all flavoured icing sugar. I used 750 grams of the velvet vanilla, which is 1.5 bags. And I used 750 grams of plain icing sugar because I diluted it. I do have the recipe for the buttercream on the back of every single package, just a basic buttercream recipe. And all I've done is, it's room temperature butter. I don't use margarine. Those of you who use margarine, it's absolutely fine, but you will find there could be a problem when you come to use some of your colours, because some colours don't work very well with the margarine, okay? But if you're using butter, the colours will always work well. So the buttercream recipe is there. It's a simple buttercream recipe, and it's delicious. You just got to beat it very well, okay? Anybody who places an order this week, we have got the sale on at Sugar and Crumbs. It's been on over Christmas and the New Year. It's proven very well. We're going to keep it on for another week because we know you guys love these flavours, and we really want you to, if you've not tried these flavours before, we really want you to buy them and try them now. They're £2 a packet. It's the cheapest they've ever been, and if you put a little note in the note section, we'll get some of these out to you. Gin and tonic and Prosecco, providing we've got them in stock. Everybody who ordered last week got them complimentary. They actually got all 3 flavours mojito, but we've decided the mojito's not really for it. It's not had great feedback, that it's sort of a 50-50, and we really need an 80% plus feedback. So the Prosecco and the gin and tonic have got massive feedback. That's been really very, very good. Sorry, and these are non-alcoholic as well, so you don't need to worry. You can have these, they're non-alcoholic. Some of the things that I've used tonight, I have used the flavouring. This is on our website as well. So if you go to our website, as I say, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, go to baking essentials or baking accessories, and they're there. I use the vanilla bean extract by Taylor & College. We also do the Dr. Oka vanilla extract as well, and they actually own this company as well, but I always use this one, and I've always been quite happy with it. I've used the Colour Special gel tonight. I've used the pink, the blue and the pistachio colours, so here they are. So those are the 3 colours that I've used tonight on the cake, okay, in the gels. These are recommended prices are $2.25, and I do know some cake shops do sell them at $2.25. You'll find most of your online sellers sell them for about $1.85, $1.95. I always have them on sale at $1.65, and I've put them in the sale for you at $1.45. So grab these now, because I'm not going to keep them at that reduced price. Once they've gone, and they're going to go back up to $1.65. So it's quite a big saving when you buy loads of the colours, and there's 29 of them, and we actually do a colour wheel as well, which is well worth buying. The colour dust that we used, I used a dust mainly because we do an orange in the colour splash, okay, and it's a great orange, but I actually preferred this powdered one. This one you can use for dusting. You can add it to your buttercream as well, and I added this one to the buttercream. Now the powders are 5-gram tubs, okay, and this one really come out a really nice vibrant orange, can you see? So I really like that, so I actually prefer that orange to the gel orange, in fairness. So that's that one. What else did I use?
We've got some questions.
Yeah, I'll get John to ask me some questions in a minute. On our last show, I actually told you about this kit. If you've not invested in one of these, do invest one. It's a great little kit for putting all your nozzles in. You do get, I think it's 60 pieces all together, and you get the nice container. It keeps them all nice and neat. And I even pop in there my 9 mini Nifty nozzles and stick them all in there, and they go in nice and neat. Piping bags, 100, they're on offer at the moment for £5 for 100, so make sure you get those, because they're going to be going back up again to the normal price. Grab those in the sale. I've used the hologram white rainbow dust. Now this is for cake decoration purposes only, okay, but if you want to pick the glitter off, feel free. It'll take you a long time, but you can use it on your cakes. Basically it's non-toxic, which means it's not digestible, okay, so all that going to mean is that you're going to leave some sparkles in your toilet. That's if you eat gallons of it. It's only like eating sweet corn, that's not digestible either. So that's the sparkle, and I always think it looks really pretty. And I know when I took this cake, when I made one for Rachel at night time with the disco lights and everything else, it really did bling up at night time. So I think a nice little bit of glitter is fabulous. For the cake mix, I use Stork. I'm not promoting Stork on the basis that they're paying me or anything like that. I've always used Stork for my baking. So I just thought I'd tell you, because lots of people always ask me what do I use, and that's my personal preference. You can use your personal preference. And the McDougall's Supreme Sponge Flour. I use either this one or the other one. They do another one with blue stripes, a light blue, and this is the darker blue stripes. I've always used this one, and then accidentally from one of the supermarkets who I order offline, I ordered the light blue one and hadn't noticed there was a difference apart from the colour of the sponge. And then when Marina came on, she said, no, Carol, you want to be using this one because it brings out a whiter sponge. So those of you who don't want to colour your sponge, it's well worth paying a little bit extra to have that one. Gives a nice rise. Bake the cakes on nice and slow, yep, 140, and they took 40 minutes on 140 to bake, and they are lovely. They've not sunk, and they're nice and flat, so they're great for stacking, so you don't need to level them off. And then sprinkles, all I've done is that I had a good route through the cupboard today, and I got out anything that was pink, white, purple. I got out all the sprinkles all together, threw them in the bowl, threw some little chocolate stars in as well, and now I'm just going to put these in a Tupperware container after I've finished putting them around the cake, on top of the cake. I'll put those in for another time. So those will go on my cake toppings, whatever else that we do in the year. So John says we've got some questions.
Tracy from Cheltenham's asked, do you do step-by-step DVDs?
Oh, I wish. No, we don't. Can't afford it. Just Facebook Lives, I'm afraid. But let me just tell you, all our Facebook Lives, if you go to our website, we have a little tab right at the top that says videos, and everything that we do on Facebook Live is actually in that video section, yeah? You can also go to our YouTube channel, so if you pop onto YouTube, Sugar and Crumbs with Nifty Nozzles, and then go to videos on there. So make sure you subscribe, because if you subscribe, it means that you can do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and we only want thumbs up. up, and it also gives me a higher ranking on YouTube as well. I think I haven't got a lot of followers on there. I think I've got about 1,500 followers, so the more I can get, I would be very, very grateful if you all went over there. And even if you've watched me live on the night, I'd appreciate you popping over to YouTube, subscribing to our channel and giving me a thumbs up, just because there's other people around the world who don't watch me live, and it's nice if I can get my channel ranked up a little bit. So I would be totally appreciative if you could do that for me.
Helen has asked, in the Thursday sessions, any chance that you could make caramel, as she had a nightmare doing the caramel in the baked-in caramel chocolate log.
Oh.
We'll try.
Not yet though. I think the caramel, Laura, my daughter, as you know, she had a baby in September, so she's not been around for a while, and I have convinced her to come back on a Thursday morning, and she's going to do one Thursday morning a month, possibly two, on Facebook Lives on a Thursday morning. She can't do the evening session because obviously she's got Holly and Harrison to get to bed, but she will come over on a Thursday morning, providing it's not school holidays, and she'll do a demo, and she's great, and I think I will pass that little job to her. I'll mention it to her when I see her on Friday. And
we've also had a couple of requests. If you could, in the Nifty Nozzles class next week, could you do the set of 9 minis?
Yes. I think that's what I plan to do actually. I'm actually going to do a display, and when I first started doing Facebook Lives way back in February, I think by the time we got to March, I did a window box display, and a lot of you have missed it because we were just building up our followers. So I think next week I'll actually go through that again and pop that window box together, because it was quite nice, that, wasn't it? So in that window box, I'll use the 1M Wilton, the baby Nifty nozzles, and the larger Nifty nozzles as well. And I'll show you how to make the buttercream, how to two-tone, triple tone, and we'll use the cling fill method. Now that's going to be a long session, and John is not going to be happy about that. So do be prepared to make sure you've got snacks, sandwiches, and you've had a wee, and that you are prepared, because that will be a long session, because we'll have a lot to cover. Pardon?
A survival rucksack.
And a survival rucksack, according to John. But it's always good because I know it sounds daft, but I show you how to cut your piping bag. We'll go over the buttercream. In the summer, I generally use the buttercream I've got here, okay? But in the winter, I will add condensed milk. But I tell you what I am going to do over the weekend. I'm actually going to play with Valerie and Christina's recipe. And I'm going to have a go at that, and if that's better, I'll actually do the demo with that. I'm not too sure at the moment because I think it was a little bit too soft.
Rob and Jackie said the caramel's easy.
Oh, well, you know what? I've just found out who's going to come and do the caramel for me. Well done, Jackie and Rob.
And we've had a question, do we sell the silicone mats that you can see?
Right, the silicone mats we don't sell with the sugar and crumbs on, okay? Basically, I sell this large one here when they're called Bako Glide, okay? And it's a blue one. It is on the website. If you go to brand and go down to Bako Glide and look for the large pastry mat, it's there in blue. What I actually did is I did have a chat with Bako Glide to see if I could have some with some colours on and our branding on, and this is my sample mat they've sent me. But I have to order quite a lot to make it worthwhile to them, and I understand that, and I'm not quite convinced that I would actually sell them all, and they understand that as well. So but if you're not bothered about having sugar and crumbs on, they do come in blue and white, and they're on our website, and I think they're $14.99 or $15.99, but they're great. They don't move on your worktop. You can roll out your sugar paste on them because it's got all the sizes on there. They go from a 5-inch cake to a 12-inch cake. They've got your dimensions in, it's got loads of conversions on. It's upside down. It's got your weights all converted, volumes, fluids. It's got all sorts of things on as well. But it's quite a nice mat actually. And what else have we got there, John? That's it? Yeah? So I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I hope you do pop over and see me on Thursday, 11 o'clock. It is just going to be me on my own. And what I'm actually going to show is how to use the cocoa powders. Now we have 5 flavours We have chocolate lime, which we've got here, chocolate cherry, chocolate orange, chocolate coconut, and chocolate chili. Everybody always goes, the chili, but the chili is absolutely gorgeous. So on the back of this packet, we do show you how to give you the recipe for the brownies, the buttercream. I'm actually going to show you how to make the brownies and the buttercream, also how to make it into a glaze, and make a chocolate mousse as well for you as well. Okay, so I've never made the mousse before. I know Laura has, so I think I'm going to have a quick practice before we go live, and I'll show you how to make those. So providing there's no more questions, I will be seeing you on Thursday. Any more, John?
Nope, that's it.
No? Well, thank you for giving me your time tonight. Very much appreciated. Please like this post this evening. Please share it with all our friends. We're trying to build our audience here at Sugar and Crumbs, and John and I want to spend the next year sharing with you on how to use all the products that are on our website and how to use all our flavoured icing sugars and cocoa powders. For those I see you on Thursday, I'll see you then, and otherwise I'll see you next Monday at 8 o'clock. Cheerio.